Greetings, Divine Mirrors. Sacred awakening, remembering gods and goddesses, one and all. Thank you for showing up. Welcome to Voices of the Global Awakening, Tuesdays with Tess. This is episode 15 weeks in a row. And today our topic is going to be secrets of acceptance. The reason I'm a little discombobulated here right now is because I had some technical challenges, and I tried to hook into something that I thought was going to make us go live automatically. And I got a notification that it's going live from a different platform, and so I've been waiting for it to go live here, and it didn't, and I just started it here, and so now I'm wondering if everybody that saw that notification is going someplace where I'm not, and that's just the way it is, you know. It's like, this is not my strong suit, and it works so much better for me to have support and people who are enthusiastic and gifted in the left brain aspect of things. And so the show must go on, and it will be whatever it will be, and all is well. For those of you who have been following, I am back. Hey, Stu. I am back in San Diego after a very intense live training that I participated in Cabo San Lucas, Baja California Sur, Mexico. And that was a very life-changing, transformational experience for me. So it's all my strong suit. Well, I will receive that affirmation and trust that you know, if I say it long enough, then it will become my experience and my reality. But anyway, so it was a tremendously transformational experience. I feel like I am very, very different than I was before I left. I have a lot more clarity. Hey, honey. Hi, Leah. How you doing? Welcome. I have a lot more clarity as it relates to my own boundaries and sensitivities, and the way trauma has played upon me in my life. And I had this immense aha while I was there around pleasure actually being the antidote to all types of pain. And it seems like counterintuitive to go towards it when we are grieving or suffering or anything like that. But there is something very powerful about pushing past the resistance and moving and like allowing pleasure to lay down new neural pathways for us. So I can go a lot into that, although that was not the topic selected for today. The topic selected for today, the secrets of acceptance. I've been sitting with this a lot, and it is a tricky conversation because we live in this world of contrast, and we see so much that triggers us and challenges us and devastates us, and that we wish to resist, you know, we wish to shout no at, and we wish to push against. And I've done a lot of that resistant pushing in my life, and I can say that it has pretty much exhausted me and worn me out. And so when this subject of acceptance came to me, it really felt like, okay, what does it actually mean? What does it actually mean to accept? Because it's like we're here and we're taught about empowerment and proactivity and taking responsibility for things and taking matters into our own hands. And it is said that our resistance to what is the source of our pain. So if we believe that we are part of an intelligence that animates this entire dimension and animates all of our beings, and that there is a reason for everything, which, given many of the things that we see, we certainly question. And yet we look at the fellow creatures that we have here, and they don't seem to have the same resistance that we do. What are you saying? When you argue with reality, you lose, right? So that is the inquiry. And by the way, if this is your first time here, I absolutely encourage interactivity. And so at any point that you feel inspired to come on and dialogue with me, or share your point of view about anything, or have some sort of an inspiration, you are most welcome, and it would be a delight, because part of my intentions in holding this space is to declare all of us as the actualized wisdom keepers that we all are. We all have a piece of the puzzle. And so by giving yourself permission to step into the light and share your voice and share your wisdom and share your perspective, I believe it will support you on your journey in your healing and reclamation of your own voice, if it's something that you're shy about. And certainly you will be providing the rest of us with access to another point of view that, if we're not standing in your shoes, we can't possibly have. So I truly, truly, truly welcome you to come on here and share the stage. We're all characters on the divine stage, and so I invite you to come share the stage with me. Anyway, so we share this reality with creatures who don't have the same programming that we do to make distinctions between good and bad and right and wrong. Certainly if something doesn't feel good, they will move away from it. But pretty much they live in a state of equilibrium, which is, riding the waves of whatever is. And so I've started just in the last few days since I came back from this retreat to be spending a lot of time affirming or chanting, not chanting out loud, but just to myself, acceptance. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes if you're in a position to, and drop into the silence with me, and just breathe and put your attention on the thought form, the concept, the word acceptance, and see what that feels like inside of you. Acceptance. Acceptance of self, acceptance for that amorphous intelligence that we call God. Acceptance of what is. What happens when we go into acceptance of what is and notice our habit and stop ourselves from making what is wrong? If you have any thoughts about this, please share them. That same intelligence that breathes life into us, that breathes life into all that is, that causes the seasons to change and the tide to come in and out, and a new day to dawn every single day. What if we had the courage to do as the Bible suggests and drop into the innocence of children, surrendering our cultivated sense of savvy, thinking that we know how things are supposed to be here, what needs to be done, taking matters into our own hands. And we simply surrendered to the will of the intelligence that breathes life into us and causes all to be. Given our programming, it sounds scary. It feels scary. Because the ego mind is in a perpetual state of survival, in the illusion of separation, seeing itself as finite and limited and fragile and in potential danger. And so it feels obliged to protect itself, defend itself, maybe even lie, cheat, steal, do whatever it thinks it needs to do in order to persevere. But what if there is a bigger picture that we, from our limited perspective, cannot see? And what if part of our healing was in cultivating scam, cultivating a humility and a humbleness of surrendering our manic need to posture as though we know and take action based on that posturing. came across this piece as I was preparing for today, and I don't know where it comes from, but it seemed perfect. It said, one of the most devastating delusions humanity has ever experienced is the idea that there are sides. There are no sides. Sides do not exist in the realm of spirit. There is only life and death, which I would change to appearance and disappearance, because we don't actually know what death is, which are sideless. The human craving for sides is a craving for belonging, shelter, validation, and worth. To crave sides is to crave walls and borders and prisons and projection of pain. Heal the soul, and the human craves no sides, for the human has true peace, a sideless grace. When violence flares, the word sides is a death sentence. We need to normalize life sentences. Justice, love, and freedom are not sides. They are conditions of a sideless reality. Within a womb, there are no sides. The world is a womb. We need to heal. So I sit here with you in my not knowingness, in my surrender, in my willingness to move into acceptance in my life for the reality of what is, not of what I wish it were. And the ego mind wants to argue. However, the being is aware of a greater sense of peace. Yeah, that was an amazing poem, Leah. Welcome, Dennis. So it's challenging because there is so much that we believe that we are here entitled to, and so much that we have these cultivated yearnings to accomplish. And in this world of illusion where we appear separate, it seems like other people are having experiences that we envy, and they have a level of production and productivity and resources and popularity and all the things that our programmed mind tells us that we are entitled to as characters in this divine play. And the spiritual teacher Byron Katie would say, is it true? Is it true that each character here is entitled to our perception of what the others have. Maybe it's not. And maybe we sit with these perceptions of the grass being greener, and we sit with these perceptions of horror, and we can be in our gratitude that there, but by the grace of God go I, that I'm not in that experience, that I have the privilege and the blessing and the luxury of my life circumstances having me presently be in a quiet, safe, cozy place where I get to contemplate these things, and I get to show up here for 15 weeks now and sit with you and share my thoughts. And sometimes, if I'm fortunate, one of you or more are willing to come on and converse with me. And in the meantime, it's like I'm still aware of suffering. It's very close to me. It's very close to me in terms of world events and my own family and friends that are close to those circumstances. And it's very close to me in my immediate circle and within my own being. So when I look at the habit of suffering, which is some unconscious thought form that is running in the background that is saying, this isn't it. This is not the way things should be. Consequently, making life wrong. So how could one have a positive experience while they're walking around making life wrong? Leah, being sideless. This is similar to being in the Purusha in Sanskrit, the great all. Yes, and so it's a very surrendered state, and it's challenging because it is in direct opposition to the ego's relentless propensity to pursue and to, as Panache, wonderful spiritual teacher that I listen to, says repeatedly, to fix, heal, change, and improve. And so we are programmed and habituated to be in this manic state, constantly trying to fix, heal, change, and improve. And what if our freedom and our opportunity to actually transmute our experience comes through first accepting it? I accept. I accept I am this, not that. I accept I have this, not that. I accept life is like this, not like that. And it is what it is. And what choice do I have in the matter? You know, it's been very challenging for me since the start of this war on October 7th. As I've talked about before, daughter of 2 Holocaust survivors, born into a shocking world of unspeakable pain and grief and tragedy. And all I ever wanted was to see world peace in my mother's lifetime. And she's been gone 3 years. And not only did I not succeed in seeing that dream become a reality, the state of the world today is the complete opposite. And that awareness can put me into a state of despair so great that I question why I'm even here. What has been the point of my existence? If I have come to be a voice for peace, and I have come to see peace and be peace, and not actually get to experience it and experience the opposite, what is the point of this whole journey? It has occurred as a nightmare from start to now. Does anyone here relate to what I'm describing? So, if, as Stu said earlier, if we resist reality, we lose. So what good does it do to be in resistance and to walk around being angry and to walk around being devastated? I would rather be humbly grateful that I'm here. Even if it's not exactly the way I wish it was. I surrender. I accept. And there's something very, martial arts about that. It's like, when the punch comes to like get out of the way of it and let it move through, or the people who are tied up and they just simply loosen, relax their whole bodies, and the rope just falls off. Because what we resist persists. Aikido. 527. Thank you, Stu. And if we surrender, that is acceptance. That is saying yes to life. That is saying yes to our Creator. That is saying yes to what is. I accept what is. And if I accept what is, I become one with what is. And when I am one with what is, my joy, my gratitude stands a chance of shifting things, of transmuting it. It's alchemy. It's like a cauldron. I could come on and talk about that if you like. Sure, Leah, come on. And we welcome to the world stage, Leah Saslav. Wait, hi, honey.
Yeah, so
Wait, let me just read this one.
is here.
Keep co-creating the movement that uplifts and inspires others, that shares your why, surrendering into the acceptance of being one with what is. Aho, welcome, Anna. Hi, hello there. Hi, Leah.
Hi, hello, Miss Tess. It's nice to see everybody, like Ariane. It's great to have you on here, and Stu and others. Thanks for doing this, Tess.
Yes.
Been week out. There's something about that consistency. It's really amazing to watch. You know, I have
Thank you. Thank
a
you.
lot of.
I had crazy technical problems coming on.
Oh, you can't tell.
Yeah.
You can't tell. You look great, and I love seeing your backdrop against the wall now. This is like your backdrop. This is you.
I brought it with me to Baja to hang it behind me so that I could keep it consistent. but the wall that I was using was like hard plaster to the outside, and I couldn't get the push pins to it was like whatever. Like imperfect is, what is it? Done is better than perfect. So
I like that. And you were surrendering into what was. So
yes,
exactly like the
yeah,
talk. Well, the two things that came up for me really were, and I loved what Stu wrote about argue with reality and you're going to lose, right? I mean, that's a great one. And the one I love to say is the Buddha would say, the definition of suffering is trying to change what is, you know?
yes,
And so
yeah,
the two things that really stood out for me are the kind of, work, prosperity, money piece, right? Where I have this huge holdup, and I'll get to the second one later. So it's like, as you know, and people on this call know, and others know, I just have these talents that I just don't want to use and ask for money for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say going back and getting a really good big deal PR job. There's that final piece of my career arc that's missing to take everything that I've ever done, these 30 years of doing it, and going for the big football, the end goal or something like that. I'm not a money person. Like, I don't even care about money. It's a part of me that's just like wanting that, just to show myself I can do it. But I'm holding myself up. I'm like just surrendering into what is, and it's coming from a trauma place of not wanting the full, something for myself, you know, and
well, I think you want it on your own terms.
yes, sure,
You want it on your own terms, and you don't want to compromise yourself
yeah,
to conform into a structure that you can't breathe in.
yeah,
I mean,
that's certainly true. That's definitely true.
that's what I see.
Okay,
Hmm.
because I've had a couple
I'm
more
right there
people.
with you, girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. We're sisters on this.
Wow!
We have to surrender into what is, But
Yes.
I've had two people in the last week ask me about more PR stuff, and I'm like, A, do I really want to help? And B, I don't really want to charge. So it's like I don't even want to think about what I want to charge them. And it's just these blocks. That's just like it's a stuck energy, uh, dealio, you know? Something's out of alignment. So that's what was coming up.
Well, thank you. And I kind of feel, do you want
Yeah, sure.
reflection on it? You want
Please.
to drop in with that? So, I mean, it feels like to me that that is worth sitting with. Like like you could even really like close your eyes and breathe and put your attention on that stuck
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. Stu says ask for a lot, just so you know. But yeah, no, I know
Well,
this is good to really surrender and be present with it.
well, it's the whole thing because there's information there. I mean, it's like your being is trying to tell you something. It's trying to get your attention.
Right.
And the more you ignore it, the louder it wants to get. And so it undermines and sabotages and interferes and intervenes. But at the same time, it's like maybe you're here for a higher purpose. Maybe you're here for transforming the structure as we know it, and so you have a resistance to playing that game
That's true.
because in order for you to play that game, you have to put on a persona. You have to play a part, and I can feel your heart just not wanting to do it. And like for me, I can relate to it because it's like why I call this Voices of the Global Awakening is is that like I've seen this post on Facebook so many times is like those of us who refuse to play the game are here to change it. That's why we're here. And the changing it for me is the surrendering into God. It's like I would rather prove the existence of a benevolent intelligence that is the source of all of our
Mhm.
sustenance, just like the Bible
Bible says, give us this day our daily bread, and the birds, and they don't toil. Nobody's toiling in
Right.
nature. It's only humans who have to like prove and earn our right to be here. And so I would rather prove the existence of this benevolent intelligence than prove how capable I am at trading my time for dollars.
I'm with you on that. Seriously, the way you put that, it's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a scary path because it is so contrary to our cultural programming and belief systems. So there's a lot of pain in it.
Hmm.
There's a lot of pain in it because we are going against the grain
Right.
of our
Because it's like
conditioning.
after
We're
having
going against,
this yogic awakening back in 1994, it's like you just can't go back. The genie's out of the bottle. You can't go back to something anymore. It just doesn't work in your integrity and in alignment of your own self. I've tried. So,
no, no, and it's painful because it's like the to thine own self be true. The more we give over to that, the more fringe we become
hmm,
in our society.
right.
And it's that being fringe that is so painful because we're lonely, we're isolated, we feel so misunderstood, right?
And
You know,
that's
it's
why I'm
it's
so thankful.
judged.
Yeah, that's why I'm so grateful for the conscious community, because these are all people who have been there. Do you know what I mean? And we've come together as a
Yeah, yeah,
family
yeah,
to help each other, support
yeah.
each other.
Yeah, I mean, we're not alone. I mean, it has been described that we are the Messiah generation, so whereas, 2,000 years ago, this one guy came along and separated himself and fasted and did all that stuff and found his connection to source, and he was the pariah and he was by himself and he was crucified. Now it's like I have a lyric in one of my songs. For each life that you erase, two shall rise to take their place. You cannot kill the will to carry on, for the soul won't ever cease in its goal of reaching peace, even though so many teachers may be gone. So it's like, so there's countless of us now because this is the time of global awakening. This is the time where the evolution of consciousness is irrepressible. It has been tried to be, tamped down and held back and suppressed, but it's like a tidal wave. It's like there's an impossibility of it ultimately not. So it's like, so when things happen on the world stage that are so devastating,
Yeah.
and we are conflicted because we're in this world, right? We're here, and we see it, and
And we're empaths. It's very tough. Very tough.
it's really tough. And yet, if we want to be, as Gandhi said, and be the peace that we want to see in the world, then we have to be the peace, which means we have to be in acceptance,
And to start with
and we have to
ourselves,
trust.
and to accept ourselves on all levels.
That's right. And we have to trust that even though we don't understand it, there is an ultimate higher purpose for all of this. And if it costs these lives for us to ultimately get to the prophesied 1,000 years of peace, that is the price, and there by the grace of God go we, and we're blessed.
Well, that is very
And
good
so, hey,
advice and very good insight. So thank you.
yeah,
The other one I'll
yeah,
talk
you're
to you
welcome.
about.
Thanks.
I'll talk to you about offline sometime. You know what I mean? When we're
Okay,
vulnerable.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'd like to be.
That's fine.
But I hope others join
That's
in on
fine.
this conversation, because it's really fun to talk with Tess, and just kind of, she's a great therapist. She's like a metaphysical therapist. So anyway, thank you, Tess.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll make it
Mwah. Much love.
too.
Okay. Bye. And the children of the children stand for all the world to see. We are here, we are strong, we are proud and we are free. And the children of the children stand for all the world to see. We are here, we are strong, we are proud and we are free. Let's see, I missed a few things. Kennedy's here. Welcome, Kennedy. You're checking out a business. Okay. Ana Luisa. Going against the grain has been my natural bent all my life. Now I'm owning it, and I'm so glad for you and all the friends I've made in the last 5 years. And I think she left. Oh, Gio's here. Welcome. Frank DeFalco. Hey, welcome. Michael. Hey, Tess. Thank you for bringing your lovely voice songs, calm and strength. My pleasure. Yay. Yay. So let's all take a deep breath. And exhale. And reconnect to what acceptance means to you and feels like in your body and upon your psyche. It's very, very humbling for me because there's like a sorrow or a grief that comes up that suggests that I'm not going to get to do all the cool things that my ego has wanted to do in this world and in this lifetime. And that may or may not be true. Rebecca's here. Welcome. Michelle. Oh, Michelle. Yes, been thinking about you coming down your way this week after Thanksgiving. Let's DM. Yes. There's a grief that can't be spoken. You too, Michael. There was a show on Broadway many years ago. I never saw it, but the title alone spoke volumes. It was called Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God. And whenever I heard it, I would think about the image of an adult putting their hand out on the forehead of a little kid who's and saying, you know, swing at me, and the little kid's like trying to swing, but the adult's arm is much longer than the kid's reach, and that's all of us. It's like we're here in this dimension, and banging around, and trying things, and sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes they succeed, and sometimes we get hurt. And in the meantime, you know, we try to posture like we figured something out, and then, you know, life comes along and makes a liar out of us, and it's humbling. What is it? Michelle and you are friends. Well, that's cool. She's going to be here December 1st, Leah. Just letting you know. Thanks for the time check. I have a lot of friends. I have good people who love me and support me and take care of me, and in so many different ways, and that is truly, truly a blessing. And plenty of them are on here right now. Yeah. So yeah. so that this is really what's on my heart right now. Like, what is it possible? Because I got this new friend that I met when I was in Cabo for the training last week, and he occurs as super, super awake. And he's been just like commenting on my posts, and everything he says is like, no doing, just being, just being, just being. And I said to him today, I mean, unless we're all going to sit like the Buddha under the banyan tree and, just chuckle to ourselves every couple of minutes, in our modern world, there is a practicality aspect that requires doing. It's like, you want to, even if you're waiting for divine impulse, so you get an impulse to go fly someplace, you still need to book a reservation. You still need to get yourself to the airport. You still need to get on the plane and go through customs if it's international. If you want to eat a meal, you go to a store and you buy food, or you cook food, or you go to a restaurant, or whatever it is. And all of this falls in the category of doing. So to sit and be without doing seems like, well, I'm just going to sit and let life pass me by while everybody else is out there seeming like they're having a great time doing the doing, and I'm just sitting here trying to cultivate being because I want to be in acceptance and surrendered, and so I feel disempowered and like I'm not in the game. Okay, so you guys work that out. And so I'm noticing that when I sit with the concept of acceptance, it is bringing a certain peace to me. And it brings me back into the oneness. Like, I'm part of the field. I'm part of the intelligence that is everything. So there is no separation between me and that which we call God, and that which I call you, and that which we call nature, or the animals, or the creatures, or the environment, or even the inanimate objects. Being is the game, yes. And so this person said to me that that from the state of consciousness that he's looking, it's like a reality show. It's like the doing happens, but it arises out of the being. It's not coming from the mind. After you said that to him, I agree with you too. Oh, what did he say? What did he say? Did he say after? That's when he said it's like you're watching a reality show. We are always reminded at, I think you mean at high, human being. Yes, and the word human actually comes from the Sanskrit word hu, which is the word for God, and the Greek word monos, which is the word for mind. So human is God mind, and so essentially we are characters sprung forth from the mind of the infinite, unknowable source intelligence of which we are all a part. So if we can know that, like take it in and integrate it into our being, then there is no separation, and there is no character here that isn't from that same source that doesn't belong here, that doesn't have a right to be here. And these are really challenging concepts to embrace because of how much we are exposed to that feels horrible. So there's a lot of ego, death, and pride because we keep having to like bend our knee. We keep having to bend our knee and bow our head and say, we don't know. We don't know. We don't understand. However, we trust, because when we trust, we come into alignment with source. And when we're in alignment with source, we can be an unblocked direct recipient of whatever source has intended for us. So it's like an unwinding. It's an unwinding and giving up our ideas of what we think we want, what we think things are supposed to be like. It's like after the ecstasy, the laundry. I have been struggling with this ever since the yogic awakening back in 1994. Yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah. Well, interestingly, I have a friend here, and I wonder if she would be willing to come on. This is her first time here. There are times I have felt so in with Source, being in the oneness. Right, and it's kind of like if you're blessed to have had that experience, it really becomes a responsibility to keep bringing yourself back there, not only for yourself, but for those around you, because especially in times like these, when there is so much chaos and so much despair, we need calm. We need calm epicenters emanating frequencies of calm and peace out into the field in order for people to have some faith that some sense of sanity may ultimately prevail. Yeah. So I'm just putting it out there, Rebecca, if you would be willing to hop on here with me, because you have got some pretty thrilling, out there, off-planet amazingness to share, and there is no way that I could articulate it anywhere near as you could. So I don't want to put you on the spot, and I'm not going to send out an invite for you unless I see a message from you that says, yes, I'd like to come on. And you can actually activate that yourself. The second icon at the bottom from the left is like the figure of a little person with a little box and a little screen, and if you click on there, you can request to come on if you'd like to do that. And by the way, if you're enjoying this, please share it on your pages so that more people can get exposed to it and become aware that it's happening. I would appreciate that. You can do that right now while you're watching, and just tool around and you'll figure out how to do it. And if you read in the description, there are ways to stay connected to me and support this and other projects. Rebecca, we are so programmed to believe what we have been told, fed. What if it's all just illusion for the personal challenge with groupthink? Sent request. Excellent. Okay. requests, search, Rebecca. Okay, let's go back. Okay, it's so far not seeing you. Are you on a phone? Because the only way you can come on is on a phone, not on a tablet or a computer. If I didn't tell you that, I apologize. So I tried pulling you up myself, and I'm not seeing your name on my list yet. Invite. Let's see, Rebecca. So what I hope, I don't know if you can see me right now because I've pulled up a screen here. What I hope that you experience when you tune in with me is my willingness to be imperfect, like my willingness to be just a regular person like you here in the moment, dealing with technology and not committed to making it look like I know what I'm doing, because I don't. Oh, you're on an iPad. No, that's not going to work. It needs to be your phone. So if you're willing to change over, we still have 65 minutes left. So calm epicenters. Yeah. It's like we are sending out concentric circles of energy into the field. I have imperfection down, baby. I am in full acceptance of the perfect imperfectness of me, this character known as Tess, that has global vision and passionate dreams for our planet that have thus far felt diabolically thwarted on, many levels over this lifetime, and yet, like the ever-ready Energizer rabbit, I keep standing. And I suppose I have my Holocaust survivor mother to thank for that tenacity, because she was so resilient and she taught me that I can survive anything. And she demonstrated that till she departed, as she hung on to this world till a month before her 98th birthday. So she was quite a character. If you had the privilege of knowing her, you are very blessed. There is nobody like her. Seek discomfort. Yeah. Well, about that, it's interesting that you bring that up, because every time you've said it, I haven't fully taken the time to feel into my response to it, because I want to Byron Katie it again and ask the question, is it true to seek it? I mean, I kind of feel like it is one thing to be willing to deal with it when it appears, absolutely. And I also don't wish to be a masochist and just like keep running into a knife. I would like to have some respite from that. So I'm really not sure about how I feel about that phrase, seek discomfort. I feel like what I have been doing on my journey is cultivating inner peace and calm. Like inner peace and calm in the face of discomfort, and um, learning how to be with it without suffering. Michael, pleased to have met your mother briefly when you were introduced her at a dance jam. Yeah, it was they made a thing about her there. It was like something for the mother. So she was kind of the archetypal representative who showed up. I'm so glad that you got to meet her. Yeah. I mean, she was probably a little quiet in that circumstance. I remember when I had a Passover Seder when she was living with me, and there were about 20 or so community members that came for dinner, and about 8 people stayed at the end and were playing Cards Against Humanity. And my mother and I were sitting just watching, observing everybody at one end of the table, and my mother's looking and looking, and she's just sort of marveling, and she said, "These people, they're all," and she's, struggling for the word, and she comes up with individuals, and it was so fascinating to her because, she came from a Orthodox background, where everybody was devoutly adhering to a particular set of rules and rituals, and dressed similarly and modestly, and certainly people that were maintaining a particular sense of decency and modesty and decorum, all had a similar feeling to them. And so for her to come from that world, to come into my world with such a, colorful cast of cosmic clowns, where everybody is like so fiercely committed to being who they are, was such an amazing thing for her, and so amazing for me to get to see it through her eyes. So yeah, thank you, Leah. It's a cool article where it came from. It can help reprogram the mind. Places or things we don't find comfortable. Well, I mean, it's interesting because if you look again, if we look at animals, so the animals are in acceptance. If a cat or a dog or a bird is raised in New York City, I mean, I was raised in New York City, and it was intense for me, and then I left, and after so long in California, I go back in there, and the blaring horns and the garbage trucks and all this kind of stuff is like crazy to my nervous system. Yet if I observe the birds, or I observe the stray cats, or I observe the raccoons, or the squirrels. There was actually a raccoon in my parents' backyard once, in a very kind of urban suburban neighborhood. That was sort of amazing. But they're like used to it, so they take it in stride. And so, like, if you see a cat or a dog, they'll figure out how to sit on a pointy rock and make it comfortable for themselves. And certainly, I suppose we humans could cultivate that as well. I just don't see. I've had so much discomfort in my life that I just can't see going out of my way to seek it, and try to cultivate it, when I also believe, like Abraham Hicks talks about, our emotional guidance system, which is and that good feels good and bad feels bad. And so, like, if we're driving down the freeway, and the reason those reflectors are there is that if we start to fall asleep and our car starts to veer out of our lane and we hit the reflectors and we start, banging down the road, we wake up and we come back into where it's smooth. And so Abraham says, I don't know where you humans get that if it feels bad, it must be good for you, and if it feels good, it's bad for you. Which is like steering us away from pleasure. So I don't know. I don't know, Lee. I guess I'm open to reading the article, and I still don't necessarily resonate with that idea. Michael, please do you have oh yeah, I got that already. And then Geo, embracing imperfection does not negate mastery of craft. I experience you as a master of song and other areas of craft as well. Thank you. I appreciate that. I need to feel into what you're saying here more. Embracing imperfection does not negate mastery. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. And like in a format like this, I am having to let go of my bells and whistles. I'm having to let go of having you hear the polished version of my songs, and I'm just singing them a cappella, And so, yeah, it took some effort and energy and intention for me to focus and scratch my head and rack my brain to come up with phrases that say what I want to say and sometimes rhyme and are poetic and all of that. And there's a passion in that, there's a passion in that. And so when our mastery is infused with passion, because some of us are good at things that we don't enjoy doing, right? And so it's like, ugh, do I really have to master that, or can I farm that piece out to someone who is a master of it and is passionate? I mean, you and I talk about that all the time, about the left brain stuff that I really don't want to do. And like, even coming on here today, it was interesting. I did a little mini Facebook Live earlier in the day to just kind of advertise about tonight. And as I was going to post it, that app asked me, do you want to schedule your next live? And I thought, oh, okay, instead of me, since I'm experimenting and since I decided not to do the event page kind days in advance because it seemed like it was limiting who the live is being exposed to, and I make it public specifically so anyone and everyone can see that it's happening and find it and come here. So I decided, okay, let me go back to just doing it live. And so I would sit down at after 4 o'clock and I would, type in all the description stuff, and I'd wait for exactly 5 o'clock and I would, have it count down and I would start. And this time, because I did that little live and it gave me the option to schedule my next live, I thought, well, let me see what happens if I schedule it in the Facebook app on the day of. And I did that. And then I went to this beautiful event page that was created, and there's a notification on it that says live is being broadcast from another app. And it was like, well, what other app is it being broadcast from? What's going to happen at 5 o'clock? How am I going to get on there? Is it going to notify me on my phone? Or do I have to be like somewhere in cyberspace that I don't know where it is? And so I set it up to go on, but then I couldn't save what I put in the description as I was trying to figure out if my phone was just going to click on. I don't know if you understand anything I'm saying out there, but it was like this big ass, headache just moments before I was going on. And I was just laughing to myself because the topic was acceptance, the secrets of acceptance. And it was like, accept what is, this is what is, and you're just going to go on live. And maybe a lot of people are going to go to that cyberspace place where you're not. And you're just going to come on here and it will be whatever it will be. And this is what I'm talking about as it relates to surrender. And it's like I've talked about before, how in previous iterations when I was like, okay, I'm going to do this ongoing Facebook Live thing, and I had different versions that I had tried, and I would get discouraged because the numbers were low. And this time it was like, no, I'm not going to care about the numbers at all. I'm just going to do it for the value that I get out of expressing myself and expressing all these counterculture thoughts that are in this vessel, and getting it out of my system for the good feeling that it gives me, and the people that are drawn will be drawn, and the benefit they receive will be the benefit they receive. And like has been said to me, there's the domino effect where our domino clicks another domino, and we really have no idea the impact that we have. And that to me is a far less egoic way for me to be going about this. So and I am an Abraham Hicks fan too, Leah. Scratch your head and rack your brain. Did I say it backwards? I don't know. I don't know. I saw Jeff come on. I don't know if he's still here, but welcome if you are. And Rebecca, did you make it back? I would love, 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 love to have you come on and talk. You have to hear this woman. She is so connected to what is happening outside the realms that we can see. And this is really funny too, because, oh, you wanted to see me scratch my head and rack my brain. Okay. Well, I couldn't do it when I was actually doing it because I needed my hands to manipulate my phone. So it was just a figure of speech. But I saw a meme the other day that said, believing that there is no extraterrestrial life is like taking a spoonful of ocean water and saying, I don't see any whales here. So that is very interesting because that is completely contrary to what my dear Panache was saying this morning about how, we are our higher ourselves, and the only channeling that we actually do is talking, and that our suffering is a result of having been told that we are human, which immediately put us in this consciousness of fragility and limitation and vulnerability, and that that we are the consciousness that is God, that has somehow manifest in these pretty cool earth suits, and there's nothing else but us. We're all of it. Are there any plans for a live test event? Well, it's interesting that you say that, because it's one of the things that I want to discuss with you tomorrow. I was on a call earlier today with this training program that I've been in for a lot of months that is completing in Austin in December, so just in a few weeks, and my facilitator is really like pushing me to get on the court with something, and I just reached out to some people I know that have a venue to see if they had the weekend of December the 8th available. Turns out that they don't, and that caused me to consider whether it was actually my truth to be doing this thing, or whether I was allowing myself to be pushed into something that I didn't actually want to do because it's smaller than like if I waited till January. And I really I'm trying to synthesize everything I've been working on in this training, with everything that I've been working on with you, Gio, with everything that I was working on in that week-long container in Cabo last week. And that's why I left you that cryptic message about being, overwhelmed. And yeah, so I really would like to streamline and synthesize so that I'm not working on so many different projects at once. It's making me kind of crazy. So yes, there are plans for a live event, a physical versus virtual one, absolutely, and I'm seeing something like a live musical keynote or TED Talk or one woman show with music that is the kickoff into a transformational training program. That is what I would like it to be. And I was suggesting the same thing to Tess since she's gotten back. We could find you a venue for the 8th. Okay, well, we can talk offline about all that stuff. I don't know. Or we could talk about it here. I don't know. we're just making this all up as we go along, and I'm just doing my best to be authentically Tess, authentically Tess. Same Tess on camera, same Tess off camera. That is what I want. I have a lot of fun playing with acronyms with my name, and transparent, essential self is one of them. Trust every second is another. Okay, installed Facebook on phone. Oh my God, you must really love me. I'm sorry to have to make you do that. I know you don't want to be on this platform. How do I find you now? Apparently, we're not Facebook friends. Oh no, just on Messenger. Can you send invite now? I don't know if I can invite you if you're not my friend. Let's see if your name shows up here now. Maybe it will. Oh gosh. Let me go. Rebecca. Oh, darn it. Wait a minute. Let's see. Let me try this way. Search. Let's see if I search here. Thanks all for hanging in there, holding the space. Oh gosh darn it. We should have thought about this. No, honey. All right, we're one step closer. Let's plan it for next week. I'm so sorry. No, I can't send you a Wait a second. Just wait a second. I got another device here. I have another device here. Maybe I can do it. Unless my other device is just going to bring me to this live. I'm going to see if it's going to let me go to a different Facebook page. Do. She's worth it, I promise you. In the meantime, if anybody else would like to come talk to me while we're working this thing out, I welcome you as well. So I'm going to go. I think I'm going to be able to do this, Rebecca. We're good. Take your time. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Rebecca, I got you. I got you. Oh, I have a friend request out to you for. I have a friend request out to you that you never responded to, so just respond to it. Just respond to it, honey, and you'll be right in. Yay. It doesn't matter what you think of me. I'm good with God, and that's enough for me. One thing's for sure, my heart is pure, so we can just agree to disagree. What you saying, Kennedy? There is a button on the bottom left she can push. Yes, correct. Once she accepts the friend request. Once she accepts the friend request. Yay, yay. Yeah. So acceptance of what is, that's what we're doing. We keep demonstrating it. We are accepting what is while we are impulse to innovations and get-arounds. And there's only one of us here. Shape your own reality. What's the lyric? I forgot my own lyric. Shape your own reality by choosing what you think. Deliberate, methodical, accept your cosmic link. Slip into the center of the core. Feel your own connection, claim your power, start to soar. You are the one, the savior, the choice, creator, director, the viewer, the voice. I just realized I haven't sung you one whole song this whole episode so far. I was going to sing this one. We'll see. I'll do it and we'll see what happens if she comes on in the meantime. Divine Mother, I am one with you. Divine Mother, I am your child. I have chosen you to bring me to the new world that you see. I am answer to your longing to join with eternity. Amma, Ima, Mama, Madonna. Amma, Ima, Mama, Madonna. Oh, my baby, you are living in me. Oh, my baby, through you I see all the wonder of creation in the mystery of your birth, in the sacred celebration of our dance with Mother Earth. Amma, Ima, Mama, Madonna. 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 As Abraham would say, it is good to come together for the purpose of co-creation, is it not? Is Rebecca back yet? You know what? You may have to, once you accept the friend request, you may have to reboot. But we still have time, so we're good. We're so good. Just push all the buttons and see what happens. You talking to me, Gio? Because if I push all the buttons, I may disconnect us. So that's a little risky. I'm pushing as many buttons as I can gingerly. But it's all about acceptance. And as Leah said, it starts with acceptance of self, which is another song I wrote. But that one I have to look up. Respect yourselves. Respect one another. Respect yourselves. Thy sister, thy brother. We are a miracle. I got you, Rebecca. Respect one another. Respect this world. This earth is your mother. Each creature here, a child of Creator. We are one family. Respect one another. Open your eyes and finally see the gift of life. That's you and me. Open your heart, let love flow free. We are the true divinity. Respect yourselves. Please honor thy father. Be gentle now. Be kind to your neighbor. We are all innocent. Accept one another. Respect yourself. Accept yourself. Accept yourself. Ah. And while we waited in acceptance, we now have 3 people who would love to come on. And I've been trying to get Rebecca on forever, so we shall start there and see how much we can fit here. And Rebecca, no. Okay, Rebecca, now you have to try this. In the bottom left of your phone, there is an icon, the second from the left, that's got like a person and a little box and a little person inside of it. Do you see that? Gio says, I'm open to come on and share on Euphoria. Thanks, Leah. Lower left corner is a little icon. And Michelle says, request to join isn't working for you. Well, all I can tell y'all is maybe you need to reboot. Because if you show up, I see you. And if I don't see you, you should be able to send me a request to join, and then I see you. So, acceptance, 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 acceptance. Okay, well, while we wait for Rebecca to figure it out, I'm going to invite Gio on. And Gio, I'm just letting you know that if Rebecca does find her way to be able, I do want to bring her on because she's got some amazing off-planet stuff to share with us, and we've been trying since the beginning. So hello.
Hello there.
I missed you.
I missed you as well, but I knew you were doing great things.
I've been doing great things, and I had such laryngitis. I'm only just starting to get my voice back because I really went for it, purging a lot of rage and grief out of this little body.
Oh my gosh.
It was very powerful, and I was doing it for me, and I was doing it on behalf of the collective, especially because I was asked to be the demo by the facilitator. Her knowing that I'm a primal release facilitator, and so it was like giving people watching a lot of understanding of what's possible with who they're working with and what's possible for themselves, and to not be afraid of it, and to be able to hold the space and receive all of that energy. So I really went for it, and
Wow.
I mean, last week I did my live with no voice.
Did you get everybody else on the primal release as well?
Well, it wasn't like that because it was more of a demo for them to learn how to work one-on-one with people.
Okay.
So they were just, I was on a massage table, and they were
Oh,
just in a circle
I see.
around us, and she was like working certain pressure points, and it was like before she even touched me, I was going ballistic. So it
Wow.
was interesting.
Dang. Well, that sounds like the
Yeah.
topic for your potential live event, but I just know just from listening to watching comments from all your friends and such when when you asked a while back ago like what you're known for, what you're good at, and everything, and it just seems like you got a gift for bringing people together. And that's a
Mhm.
unique gift. That's not something I like to do. Like there are certain things that I do that I know you probably like would like you be like scratching your fingers on the chalkboard. But like bringing people together, that seems like your natural thing. And what a gift!
Thank you.
Yeah,
And actually, hearing you say it, and you've said it before, it's kind of like touching me more deeply, to really take advantage of that.
yeah. Well, I won't go into it too deep, but I will toss out there for the rest of the audience to cheer on, is to think about just like renting a house for the weekend and having a big event at a house that's perfectly set up to do it, because I mean it's not difficult to find them, and that'd be an awesome thing.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to tell you about
Okay.
Euphoria.
Yes, please.
I was feeling a little cranky today for reasons I can't fully understand or explain. You know how it happens, like you just kind of get cranky for no reason, and uh, I felt a little bit called to share this thing about on Euphoria when you were talking earlier about like figuring things out, figuring out life and this and that. And man, I'll tell you, I mean, I do enjoy philosophy, and I enjoy listening into your philosophy and your community conversations and all. And at the same time, there's like a part of me that's like, sometimes there's not anything to figure out. There's just to enjoy life. There's just to enjoy life in the way that that you do in the moment, right? Like sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. So a little earlier today, I wasn't really feeling it. I was feeling a little cranky, but then I took myself some of this Euphoria.
What is it?
It's a herbal mixture, herbal supplement from Anima Mundi. It's an apothecary company that puts out amazing good products. And it does not have your normal suspects that you might think, It has mostly South American herbs. Guarana, Catuba, Muriana punama. I mean, all these things I can't even really pronounce. Hibiscus, Damiana. So these are all herbal things that, lift up the spirit. And the combination of taking this and joining your live stream has got me feeling good again.
Oh, good.
and
Good.
one of the things that I was thinking to myself as I was kind of tuning in, I kind of had a bunch of things I need to do tonight, and I was thinking to myself a little bit like, what do I enjoy so much about this experience that you bring together? And one of the things that I really enjoy about it is that it doesn't really have a purpose to it.
It's like
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
kind of is like Seinfeld. But
May I be so successful.
yes, yeah. So maybe that's your thing. Like you're putting on experiences or whatever that don't really have a big purpose or whatever. And I do joke about it, but at the same time, one of the things that's really on my mind recently, I know, and some other people know I'm in Scottsdale now for the wintertime. And I love it here. I love the people here. They're kind of like Californians with a little bit of East Coast mixed in there, and they're kind of up to big things, but they're kind of laid back at the same time. But the thing that kind of bugs me a little bit here is that pretty much every experience that is to be had here, and there's endless great experiences. I mean, really, so many good things going on, but pretty much all of them you got to pay for. and they're kind of like a scripted experience kind of thing. You know, there's a lot of good nightclubs here and dancing places and this and that, but it's like everything you got to pay for. There's golf, you know, driving ranges. There's all these like great things to do, concerts, shows, but like everything is like a paid experience. And
You like money. What's the problem?
no problem. There's no problem with it. But where's the
Why
space?
are you
Where's
saying-
the space for the thing that has no, like the Seinfeld, you know?
That costs millions and millions of dollars per episode?
But what was it about? It was about nothing, right?
Sponsors,
It was about. It was
sponsors.
about.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, were you done? Because I had a bunch of different thoughts
That's all
going as you were.
I got for now.
Okay. By the way, Rebecca, if you're back, I'm waiting for you, and Gio knows. So please identify your being here, and we'll keep it brief and make space for you. But well, so the first thing that I wanted to say is that you missed the beginning, in which one of my big takeaways from the week in Cabo is that pleasure, and these are my words, this is my synthesis of it, is pleasure is the antidote to all pain.
I like that.
Yeah, and so even though it may be counterintuitive to go towards pleasure when one isn't feeling good, like if one is depressed or if one is in grief or in pain, and somebody's coming along and wanting to be playful, it could be like, you know, get away from me, leave me alone. I'm in my misery right now. However, if we know that pleasure is the antidote to all pain, that to sort of do what you did and decide to go towards it is the medicine. It lays down a new neural pathway, and it is the healing balm to recreate one's experience. And I'm very, very, very clear about that from coming back from Cabo. It was game changing, life changing
like that.
for me. Yeah, so that's one thing. The second thing was related to your comment about like feeling cranky and not being able to figure it out, and then deciding to go for the good feeling thing. If you can do that, that's awesome. To sort of switch that way. For me, and this may be what Leah was talking about in terms of seeking the discomfort, is like what I do is follow the not feeling good. It's like, so if I were going to demonstrate for you what I'm talking about, it would be like, okay, I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling pain. This is what pain feels like. I'm feeling what this feeling is. I'm getting to feel. So it's because to me, it's like, if we chose to come here in these physical forms, we came for the human experience. We came to experience the gamut of emotions and situations that humans can get themselves into. And so it's like, I get to feel this pain, right? And so once I get, so then I can sit with it, because I believe that we have to feel it to heal it. So now I'm sitting with, and now I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that I get to feel this pain, to help me identify that this is running in the background, and now I'm bringing it to the foreground. And so now I can examine it, and I can be like, I'm so grateful, and I can move away from it. I'm so grateful I get to feel. I'm so grateful I get to feel. I'm so grateful I get to be. I'm so grateful I get to be here. I'm so grateful. So now I'm not in pain anymore. Now my attention's not on pain anymore. Now my attention is on gratitude. So now I've like shifted. Now I've moved up the scale. And from that place, I can start to go, okay, what do I want to feel? I want to feel pleasure. Okay, so what can I do to take me towards the
Yeah.
pleasure? You know, what can I put my attention on? What can I touch? What can I taste? What can I smell? You know, did I just see Rebecca back? Rebecca says, I don't see any way to join. Perhaps I can't join because I downloaded the light version of Facebook. Oh, let me see if you're here. I'll try. Oh, look, hang on a second.
Well, while you're doing that, I will be the voice for everything that you just said. Sounds like the perfect thing for a live event. Yeah,
Really?
it really does. Yeah, and there's like two things to it, which is there is what you just said, which is sometimes we need to go into to find out where the source of the pain is, and sometimes we just need to go for the pleasure, right? And for me today, it was really just going for the pleasure, because what really created the pleasure for me was two things. I went into my chiropractor and had a decompression because my back has been a little compressed, my spine a little compressed from sitting down so much. So that decompression combined with this great euphoria mixture, it's not drugs at all. It's just natural, herbal type things. But those two things were what my body needed. Need the spine. My spine was a little compressed from sitting so much. And so it's one of the things that I believe to be true, two sides of it. So one thing being that I do believe that we can all get to pleasure, right? And when we're in pain, there's something that's causing that, right? And so for me today was my back, and then maybe a little, imbalance or whatever in my, I needed a little euphoria. But I just really believe that we can all get to that pleasure point. And I've taken it from some of my friends who are kind of, kind of neurotic about their health. I was always the person who was like, I would just kind of put it off and be like, that doesn't really bother me that much. But now I'm like, if I got a pain, I want to know what's causing it so that I can get to the pleasure.
Yes.
And that's, that's talking about physical things, and emotional is a little different. And that's like what you were saying. Sometimes oftentimes you got to go in to find the source of it. And that is often not comfortable, but on the other side of it is the pleasure. Right. I believe that. I believe that's universal. And, I got a little riled, I think, at the beginning of, at least where I tuned in about, this whole thing about, that we're all just like in a theater and playing this and that. And, at the cosmic level, that's true. But what makes life so rich and enjoyable and brings the pleasure is jumping into the thick of it and really playing it all out. It's like, you can't have the pleasure of like riding a surfboard in a big wave unless you go into it. It's like not something you could be thinking about, like, oh, it's just a theater. It's no, you got to physically get on into it and do it.
Yeah, and it also depends on how hurt you've been, whether physically or emotionally, and how much more you're willing to get battered. You know what I mean? Because like for me, it's like I've had enough pain in my life that I don't want that pain. I don't want it. I don't, it's like the pleasure that's available is not worth the wipeouts and the surfboard hitting me in the head and, getting cut, and I just don't want it. But I get it. I understand. And, I wish I had that sort of daredevil spirit in me.
Well, you do. You do.
In other ways.
It seems like you do. It seems like you've mastered the skills of letting things go. And like you were saying about being in the imperfection, that's one side of it, right? Which is the letting go piece of it. Because sometimes when it comes to pain, or even like some of the things that's going on in the world right now, there's like nothing you can do about it. Like in the moment, there's nothing you could do
Right.
about it. And to wallow in the pain of it, doesn't do anything.
Yeah, which is why I called this the secrets of surrender, because there are things that we have no choice
Many
about,
things.
and for us and for us to get all activated and triggered and riled up and even take action out of that state of anger and frustration, it yields no good. So all there is you know it must be what's supposed to be happening because it's happening, right?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, usually good things come on the other side of bad things. It seems to be a pretty universal experience, a human experience.
Right.
But
Right. Yes.
anyways, well, I'm glad to see you and to be on for a minute here and talk about my euphoria.
Yay. It's like the medicine men, and it looks like those bottles like from the old westerns when the medicine man would come around
Yeah.
with his covered wagon and have that
Yep.
kind of stuff.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
great.
And there's a funny
It's
thing about
great.
that, which we know to be true, which is the power of the mind, right? It's like with
Yeah.
those old Western things, like just that something would be there that might work begins to make it work.
Maybe we can bottle something and call it abundance, and people would just drink that, and then,
Totally.
let's do
Dude,
it.
let's make that part of your live
Okay.
experience. That's what you get when you come in the door.
A bottle of
A
abundance.
bottle of abundance, yeah. And man, all the places that the abundance comes from. I didn't mean to rail on like having to pay for things, because I don't mind that. But
It was funny though. It was funny coming out of your
it's just the
mouth. It was
commercialization of
funny.
like all experiences now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Totally.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, thanks for being
All
here.
right, big hugs.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Change to viewer. Okay, so let me catch up on these messages. It has been so hard not to get riled up. I had to start a private thread to people so I could at least talk together and have a place to communicate about it. When you argue with reality, you lose. I don't know how far back. Snake oil. Yeah, that's the word. Happiness in a bottle. Gratitude for the laughter and tears. I'm so grateful for all my pains. How perfect they have been for me to be here now, aware, awakening, full of every experience. Absolutely. Yes. I mean, that is like transcending duality is us to be a yes to everything, which is the first rule of improv. Say yes to everything. Request to join isn't working. I don't know, honey. I don't know. Maybe it is because you're on Facebook Lite. That's funny. I didn't even know that exists, like diet soda. Um, okay. Kennedy, there's a button on the bottom left she can push. Okay. Did you reboot? Did you reboot your phone once you installed Messenger? Okay. Yeah, I think I may be. These messages sort of like slide. Hedonic. Hedonic healing? What does that mean? Or do you mean like hedonistic? Um, it's funny that you say that because I came up with the name of a workshop called, uh, what is it called? The Godly Virtues of Hedonism. Provocative. Yeah. So probably my content would be too inflammatory. Nah, I don't think so. I think it'll be just right. Um, yeah. So there's 6:50. You better hurry up, Rebecca. We're just gonna get a little teeny tiny taste of you. Thanks for being a good timekeeper, Stu. Absolutely. it's funny because, I'm back and I did, I noticed that the clock in here, the battery had stopped and I put a new one in, and so I am able to see it, but it's kind of a couple of minutes off from what this is. So I don't want you to feel like you are obligated to that role for the rest of eternity, too. Although I do appreciate it. It's very helpful. Anyway, how's everybody doing out there? Are you enjoying this? Are you getting value? Are there ways in which you can see yourselves contributing, participating, to make it better, to make it more technologically sound, to have a bigger audience, to reach more people, like all those promotion, publicity, marketing, technology pieces that my right brain orientation is not so thrilled about. Those would be amazing to me. Content, if there's content that you would like us to cover here, if you are working on something that is for the evolution of humanity and you would like to share about it, if you've got events coming up, if you want to post those in the comments, you're welcome to do that. I invite you to join the groups that I have listed there, which are the Universal Temple of Expanding Consciousness, Rename the Planet, Planet Peace, Waking Up from the Hypnosis of Mortal Reality, my Tess fan page. You could follow me, my music ministry on Spotify. You could join my YouTube channel called the Tess Channel. And there's another one that's called Yes, the number 2, TES, Yes to Tess. And Serena is here, and Jess for the last couple of minutes. So cool to have you. And then beyond that, I welcome everybody, because as I say, we all have a piece of the puzzle. We all have wisdom to share. We all need to be held in the highest light and have opportunities and places to share our voice. If you feel, happy birthday to Johnny, if you feel like it would be awesome to hear more of your amazing guests pre-programmed. Well, we'll talk about that. And if you, then I would need to have a way of knowing how to integrate those into the live. And, if you resonate with me and my vibe and my consciousness, I do work one-on-one with people. I do primal release facilitation. I do unorthodox voice lessons with people, whether it is for speaking or singing. And I'm just, as a friend introduced the concept to me, a truing priestess. So there's like an energetic resonance to truth, and I can feel that space where there's a disconnect between what is being said and what the energetic truth is, and support you in integrating that and finding it. So if you resonate with my energy and feel I could be a contribution to you, please do not hesitate to direct message me, and we can have a initial exploratory conversation and discover how we might work together. Rebecca, yes to Tess indeed. Serena Daily, good, thanks Tess, you are amazing. I am your mirror right here, right now, holding the space for all of us to spiral up, spiral up, spiral up together, so that we all are standing in a place of pure wonder, grace, gratitude, joy, delight, and acceptance of the miracle of our getting to be here. And it's so much more about the miracle of our beingness than the challenges of the circumstances that we seem to have manifest and created for ourselves. So my pleasure, Michael. Thank you all for being here so much. Please share the replay on your pages. Let people know this is happening every week from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. 5/27 is my birthday, and so I like using that number. And Tuesdays, I was raised to believe, are a lucky day in my tribe. So Tuesdays with Tess, Voices of the Global Awakening, 5 to 7 p.m. And I'm glad that my voice held up throughout this whole thing. And people are still popping on for the very, very last moment. So I'm going to leave you with my test jingle, which is with a jingle on your tongue and a tingle in your heart. You will stay forever young. You will see the world as art. You will sing with every rainbow. You will wish upon each star. You will let yourself imagine, and this gift will take you far. Thank you, beautiful goddess. This was extraordinary. I'm sorry I was unable to be face to face. We'll figure it out. You'll be here next time. Best yet. Thank you for that. Look who's here. Oh my goodness. Blessings to all of you. Stewie, is it 7 o'clock yet? 6:56. All these people showing up. Thank you for showing up. I love you too. I love being here. Who knows where this is going? Who knows where this is going? Maybe someplace very, very different than what I imagined. Ah, what a beautiful gift. Thank you. And thank you all. You are a gift to me, because without you here, I would just be speaking into the void, having no idea if I was making any kind of a difference or reaching anyone. And so each and every one of you is a treasure to me. And I do look forward to seeing you soon in a live experience where we can be together in the physical, somewhere over the rainbow, to the moon. Alice, look at all you characters. I have the best characters. I manifest and created the best characters in my life. As my mother said, each and every one of you is a unique individual, and we are all so privileged to get to be here embodied. We deserve to be joyful and in gratitude and celebrating each breath, each and every moment of our existence. We can declare is the best one yet. The best one yet. I love you all. Acceptance is the key. I invite you to practice, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Infinite blessings, and each heartbeat, each heartbeat. Yes, and our clocks and our calendars, these contrived things, have nothing to do with the pace of our heartbeat, our breath, and our pulse at rest. Peace and love to you, brother. So nice to see you here. Thanks for all the hearts. Thanks for all the joy and contribution. And I shall see you again. 6:59. This is so interesting. Holding the space in acceptance. Thank you. Namaste.